Yes, probably over 100 times.
And is that predominantly in your role as a medical examiner?
It's mostly in my role as a medical examiner where I did the autopsy and then the process death or some question about medical malpractice, something like that. And then I've also been consulted and testified in cases at the request of the defense. Again, not where I did the autopsy, but where I reviewed someone else's work and then I consulted with the defense or testified. Not where I did the autopsy.
And, have you testified in Minnesota courts?
Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, North Dakota, South Dakota, Pennsylvania. Minnesota, Iowa.
So Dr. Thomas, have you been paid for your time and services in this case? Could you tell us about that? How does it come about that you're not being paid for your time and services in this case?
Um, well, I didn't ask to be paid.
And so did you reach out to the state, or did the state reach out to you?
No, no, you reached out to me, and it just I knew this was going to be important, and I felt like I had something to offer, and I wanted to do what I could to help explain what I think happened.
So what were you asked to do then in this case?
Well, I was asked to review a lot of the materials and come to an independent conclusion about what I thought the cause and manner of death was and the mechanism for that cause.
Could you give the jurors a general sense or overview of the kinds of materials you review?
Yeah, I looked at mine,
Yes, if you need to refresh your recollection.
So I looked at the Hennepin County Medical Examiner materials, including the autopsy report, toxicology, and photographs, and microscopic slides, things like that. I looked at the Hennepin County Medical Center records, so Mr. Floyd has medical history from there, as well as Health Partners medical records. Then I looked at a lot of interviews, many, many videos, including body-worn camera videos, bystander videos, surveillance videos, um, some photographs, still photographs, timeline, and then some medical literature.
So were you the medical examiner who investigated or did the autopsy around the death of George Floyd?
No, that was the Dr. Andrew Baker, the Hennepin County Medical Examiner.
Do you know Dr. Baker?
I do. He was a pathology resident when I was on staff at Hennepin County many years ago. And then when he did his fellowship, I was one of the staff people there. And then after our office was merged, I worked again with him as staff people.
So would you have been part of his training in his early formative years?
Yes.
You consider him a friend?
I do, yes.
Have you talked to him about this case?
No, not since right after it happened.
But you did review his report?
Yes.
And as well as his medical records?
Yes.
Did you review the history of terminal events on May 25th, 2020?
Yes. And what was kind of unique, what was absolutely unique in this case was the volume of materials I had to review. I never had a case like this that had such thorough documentation of the criminal.
And by way of the thorough documentation, what makes it so thorough?
Well, the use of videos is unique in this case. Certainly, as medical examiners, we use videos, but there's never been a case that I've been involved with that had videos over such a long time frame and from so many different perspectives.
Are you aware then of Dr. Baker's conclusions then on the manner of death?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd like to show Exhibit 193 that's been stipulated to subject to Dr. Baker's comments. So first, Dr. Thomas, what do we see here on Exhibit 193?
This is a copy of the certificate of death of Mr. Floyd.
And so, Brett, if we could kind of highlight just through the word underline. Based on your review of the evidence and the death certificate, do you agree with Dr. Baker's determination on the cause of death?
Yes, I do.
And is that by the word immediate on here?
Yes, cardiopulmonary arrest complicating law enforcement, subdual, restraint, and neck compression.
Have you, Dr. Thomas, formed an opinion about the mechanism of death?
Yes.
Would you tell us what that is?
In this case, I believe the primary mechanism of death is asphyxia or low oxygen.
So we'll come back to the mechanism in just a minute. Can you explain to the jury what this cause of death means and why you agree with it?
Well, it's kind of in two parts. So there's the cardiopulmonary arrest, which it doesn't provide a lot of additional clarifying information because in a way everyone dies of when your heart stops and your lungs stop. That's cardiopulmonary arrest. But as a forensic pathologist, I would use cardiopulmonary arrest when I'm to differentiate it from a cardiac arrest. So this is not a sudden cardiac death, a sudden cardiac arrhythmia. This is a death where both the heart and lungs stop working. And the point is that it's due to law enforcement subdual, restraint, and compression. That is kind of what ultimately is the immediate cause of death is the subdual, restraint, and compression.
And just so it's clear for the jurors, does cardiopulmonary arrest mean heart attack?
No,
Does it mean fatal arrhythmia as a primary cause of death?
no.
It simply means that the heart stops and the lungs stop.
Right.
So another way to simply describing death itself.
Right.
Can you explain what's referred to, looking here at the terms, subdual, restraint, and neck compression?
Those were activities by